Now, when you first hear the story, you might think it's about the boy, but if you listen closely, you'll really see that the story is about the teacher. And it goes something like this. There was a boy who lived on the east coast of Florida with his family. His name was Philip. And Philip went to a junior high school in this town. The town, I'm told, it was called Palm Bay, I believe, about an hour south of Orlando or so. And Philip went to this junior high school. It was a really good public junior high school. It was supported by NASA and Douglas and some other private and public companies who were in the area, and they really supported this school. And Philip was a good kid. He was a straight A student and was really involved in the school. And he was part of this program the school had. They had this science research program where kids could do science experiments and they got a chance to compete at the county and state level and then kind of really get engaged in science. So Philip was doing well. This junior high school was a 7th, 8th, and 9th grade junior high school, and I'm told Philip had been there, done 7th grade there, done 8th grade there, and was just thriving in that school. And there was a teacher there named Mrs. Holder. Mrs. Holder was a teacher who taught life sciences and other sciences at the school, but she was also the science research coordinator for the school. And so she got a lot of kids in her classroom, so she got to know a lot of the kids. And she got to know Philip because Philip was in her science classes, and he was also in the science research program, so she got to know him pretty well. Now, I'm told that, I believe it was after 8th grade, the summer after his 8th grade year and before his 9th grade year, Philip's family moved out of state, so they left Florida, they go to another state. And Philip actually begins 9th grade in this other state, and he's in school for a couple of weeks or so, and he begins to notice that he's being taught things in that 9th grade in that new state that he'd already learned in the 7th and 8th grade in the Florida school. And so I don't know, and this is where I'm fuzzy on the facts. I don't know if Philip's parents called the teacher Mrs. Holder, or if Mrs. Holder called Philip's parents, but some way, somehow, there's a conversation between the two about what would it look like for Philip to go back to Florida and live with Mrs. Holder and her family so he could finish out the 9th grade year in that junior high school, so then he would have completed 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. So they have this conversation, and at the end of it, they agree. Both parties agree that it would be okay for Philip to go back to 9th grade and live with Mrs. Holder and her family. Now let me set this up for you. How many of you here have children by a show of hands? Okay, good number of folks. How many of those who have children are empty nesters? Your kids are out of the house, they're graduating. Okay, one person. How many who have children want to be empty nesters? Yeah, all right? We love our kids in that 9th grade year. I'm told that for the first time, Philip plays organized athletics for the school. He plays basketball, he runs track, and he continues to do well academically. Now, here's what's cool about what happened in that 9th grade year. Philip, I'm told, he set the school record for most rebounds in a single game. He earns first place in the county for 9th grade. He's the valedictorian of that junior high school. Now, here's what's unbelievable about this story. Because Philip was able to do well in that academically rigorous junior high school, he got into an academically rigorous high school, which positioned him to compete for, get admission to, and graduate from West Point. It's pretty cool. But there's one twist on this story. That little boy wasn't Philip. That little boy was me. And I'll never forget what Mrs. Holder and her husband did for me in that 9th grade. It absolutely changed the rest of my life forever. Absolutely forever. And here's what I learned through that story, through Philip's story, through my story, is that despite all of the rhetoric that we hear in our news today about anti-immigrant sentiment in this country, that most people are good people. And most people, if you ask for it, they actually will help. Mrs. Holder and her husband took me in for that year. They fed me, clothed me, the importance of preparation and training. Because had we not prepared and trained so well, his name is Bentley, I'll never forget him. He's from Houston, my driver. He was a great driver.
Your community, your family, and yeah, I mean,